3:56. Let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I want to make sure that I am on stage. You guys can see me. We're all good. Awesome. All four of us are on stage. Awesome. Hey, everyone, welcome. I am Bomik. I identify as an educator, a community builder, and I'm also a self-proclaimed member of the technical staff at Learn Prompting, thanks to Vibe Coding. Brief background on Learn Prompting for those who don't know us. We published the first guide to prompt engineering on the internet a few months before ChatGPT even launched. Sander, our founder, had been deep into prompt engineering in college and when he worked on the guide. And since then, over 3 million people have gone through our content and learned through Learn Prompting. We then launched a AI red teaming professional certificate and trained hundreds of cybersecurity professionals. So our focus is both helping people getting familiar with AI all the way to those getting deep into prompt injection and jailbreaking as professionals. So now we're excited to kick off something new, a live workshop series where we bring in guest speakers who actually build the AI tools that you're using every day. Chandler, my colleague at Learn Prompting, will introduce them more in a second. He has a special relationship with one of them. You can probably guess. But yeah, we're very excited to have the Google AI Studio team. You're watching two people who are literally built a lot of the features and were behind the scenes helping make the decisions to make it easier for you to vibe code. And so they have something special for you today. And so I'll let Chandler take over with introductions and then we'll get to the demos.
Thanks, Bomik. Hi, everyone. I'm Chandler. I'm head of AI content here at Learn Prompting. I'm also the person behind the weekly newsletters and blogs. So I'm sure some of you have read my thoughts on AI models and tools. So it's a little face reveal. Today, I want us to focus on a product that I've written about recently. It's actually a product I use daily, which is Google AI Studio. But today, thankfully, you guys won't be hearing from me. You'll be hearing from professionals, the people behind the actual tool. And so we have Logan Kilpatrick, who is who leads AI Studio at Google DeepMind. He's also my brother. There's some similarity there if you guys look at us. And then we also have Ammaar Reshi, who leads product and design for AI Studio. And one quick reminder before we get started. Please ask any questions you have in the YouTube live chat. I'll be moderating that chat, and I'll be saving questions for Logan and Ammaar to answer at the end.
Chandler, I thought you were about to announce before that Ammaar is also your brother. I was like,
I don't know.
Coming out moment where we find
out. I literally updated to say Ammaar is also my brother.
It's like a Star Wars reveal moment for Logan.
What? Logan didn't know, but I did the whole time.
We're related.
Yeah. With that, I'll hand it over to Logan and Ammaar to start demoing.
Amazing. Well, hey everybody, great to be with everybody here. And yeah, to be cooking live with Logan, something we love to do in our day-to-day anyway. But to do it with all of you and show you what AI Studio can do is going to be awesome. Can give you a quick walkthrough of AI Studio and then we can take it from there. But for those who are not familiar, AI Studio is effectively the home playground, the place where people come to learn what the latest DeepMind models are, how to work with them. You can try all of them out and see all of their capabilities. And it's also the place where you can go build with them. So we have a build tab here where you can basically just prompt away and bring your ideas to life. And we think it's just one of the fastest ways to get an idea, an AI-powered app, really, just by describing it. You can describe it, we'll figure out how to hook up the API keys and all of that other complex stuff behind the scenes. And all you have to do is just bring your idea to life in words. Logan, anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, Ammaar, maybe we can just highlight the simplicity. If we go back to build, we'll do I'm feeling lucky. This is one of my favorite features, is like if you don't have inspiration, you sort of want to try building something, you've never built something before, click I'm feeling lucky. It's a sort of homage to the original Google I'm feeling lucky button. You can click that. We'll come up with an idea. We'll make it AI powered. And then with one click, you can just go and build that actual app. And then we'll sort of kick it off behind the scenes. And you can leave this tab and come back to it later. It'll just sort of continue to generate in the background. So we can maybe come back to whatever this app ends up doing, Ammaar.
Yeah, love it. Looks like we'll get a language practicing app in real-time conversation. That'll be fun to see. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think so. That was, I think, one of the great ways you can just start. I'm feeling lucky, go for it, see an idea come to life. And then on the bottom here, you can also see all the other things that you could just add to your app. You can animate images with VO. You can use Google search to kind of ground and get live information, real-time information there that's taking place. Add Gemini, so you have a chatbot in your app. Many different features and things you can add just to bring something to life, which is also really fun. So a variety of use cases. And then we can also walk through this in a bit as well, which is how we use AI Studio to build AI Studio, how we prototype our own product, how we actually build all the UI and stuff before we put it in code and even ship to production. Logan's been on a spree recently. He's putting a lot of code in production. So if AI Studio does break at any point, please direct.
It's not my changes that are breaking AI Studio. I'm only making the product better. Ammaar, maybe let's cook another app. I'm curious.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't know if folks have suggestions in the comments around. I think we can see them. And yeah, if you have ideas for like things that you want to see built that you've always wanted, if they're simple, please add them to the chat and we can try kicking off. Or better yet, you can actually try kicking them off yourself. AI.studio.
Yeah, feel free to follow along.
/build, and you can go and actually do that. So
while you guys do that, do you mind increasing the font size?
Sure.
Yes, please. Yeah, make it bigger.
A little bit more.
We can also turn off dark mode too if it's hurting people's eyes during the day because Ammaar only uses dark mode.
I think people like dark mode. I hope the comments stand by that. And then yeah, to answer folks, this is a new version of Chrome. It's actually in beta, available publicly. It does have vertical tabs, which I love. Anyway, let's make something. I actually haven't tried the music generation stuff, so I'm kind of curious. Let's make a music generation app. Maybe I want to make an app that takes any image and turns that into a song, and then present it all in a fun homage to the MP3 players we used to have. Maybe even cover flow. I'm asking for a lot of things, so I don't know how this prompt is going to go, but let's send it.
Ammaar, I'll make a comment, which is, and we talk about this a lot, the models in today's era, and actually the like behind the scenes infrastructure that's powering this build experience in AI Studio is actually really robust. And so a comment that I often give to people who are like just starting building stuff in AI Studio is like, you actually should ask for a lot of stuff. Like, I think gone is the era where like you need to just ask for like the thinnest possible version of the app. The model and the agent and all this other stuff is actually really smart at like breaking down the prompt that you give it if it's complex, and turning it into something that like is, has multiple features, is, able to take that whole problem into account. So be ambitious with what you ask for. And actually, this is maybe a good segue, Ammaar. Someone in the comments is asking what the difference is between AI Studio and Antigravity. And I feel like Antigravity, the like coding agent in Antigravity, is powering this experience that you're seeing. So it's a very similar set of infrastructure behind the scenes that makes all of this like code generation and app creation possible. It's free to get started as well, which is another question in the comments.
Yeah, and I think the other way I think about it is like AI Studio is the batteries included experience. You have all of the bells and whistles taken care of. You can link AI models really easily. You can share things really easily just in the web. So if you want all of that without the IDE kind of complexity, I would recommend AI Studio. If you're fine with getting into an IDE, you want to work with code, I think Antigravity is a great place to graduate to.
Yeah, and Ammaar, maybe really quickly, like what's actually had, just to like illustrate what's going on here as folks, like this will be a common experience. If you build something, it takes a little bit of time. The model does lots of work for you behind the scenes. What's happening as we sit here and watch the model do work?
Yeah, that sounds good. You can, so, you know, like we said earlier, you can just go off and like keep firing off prompts and creating different apps, or you can see what the model's actually thinking about. And so I love expanding it and kind of seeing what it's doing. This also kind of also shows you how the model thinks, how you could even direct its thinking with further prompting. But you can see here, it's focusing on the app thing, the multiplayer, sorry, not multiplayer, the music app, and you can see it's picking Lyria 3 as the model. It's now figuring out the flow. It's realized we want to upload images. And so you can kind of see it's like working through all the steps it'll take to construct this app. Yeah, I really do hope it does a Winamp style thing. I just saw that in the comments. Maybe we can ask for that in a follow-up prompt and see what it comes up with. But you can see it's just thinking through the entire thing. It's even figuring out, and this is what I meant by batteries included, Lyria will need an API key linked to it. And so it realizes that and knows that it's going to ask you to link your API key when you use this app. So it's things like that that you won't have to think about, that we'll take care of for you. So while it goes and builds this one, it looks like it's almost done. We did have that language app that we fired off earlier. And oh man, I don't even know any of these languages, so this is going to be really interesting.
I know German, Ammaar. Maybe I can test I don't know if my audio will come through your computer, but
yeah, just tell me what to say and I'll try. But let's start.
Say hallo, mein Name ist Ammaar.
Okay. Let me see. Hallo, mein Name ist Ammaar. How's that? Is this working?
We'll see if it works. This is the beauty of vibe coding, is that sometimes things don't work and we have to go and fix it. And so that is like a normal part of the experience. I think it's actually great when this happens initially, because you sort of can get accustomed to the fact that like things will break, and part of the experience is like asking the model to fix problems that are.
Yeah. Hello? Are you there? Tell me you're there. Oh, I wonder if it's using the wrong mic. It is. That's why. So let's actually set this to the right mic. Now I'm going to start it again. Hallo, meine Name ist Ammaar.
Oh, you're in Spanish. I wonder.
I'm in Spanish, but it understood me in German, and it's responding in Spanish, which is awesome.
Is it actually? Because I don't hear and see anything on my side. It's responding on your side. There's no audio for us. I think it's coming through on your screen, but not our screen.
Oh, that's sad.
This is a great feature. Actually, can we see if we can add like transcriptions or something in the UI just to visualize this? And we can come back to this example, but it's cool that at least we'll take your word, Ammaar, that it's actually working. Maybe we can share a link to this so that folks can test this on their own and test this out.
This is amazing, and I'm actually going to use this because, yeah, now I can finally learn stuff.
Was there something?
Ammaar, from earlier, you said that this was picking the right model for you, right? So it kind of helps decide.
Yeah.
Where does that logic get stored, and where can you change that as you learn, what models work better for your tasks?
Yeah, so I mean, we know which Gemini models work well for specific things. For instance, live audio, we'll use our live, models, and so for that, like when it's going and building an app, it's thinking through what those things are, and which model is best suited for the task. You can always prompt away and say, actually, I'd like you to use something else, like when you know that. But
it knows like to use Nano Banano for
exactly,
and Vio for video. Great, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at this. We have a very familiar MP3 player here, but let's see. How do I upload an image to make a song? There we go. Okay, great. I click the button. You can't see the image upload thing, which is fine. But I'm going to use an image of somebody I know. Let me just and see, like, what kind of song it makes about them. So we'll see what that comes back with. AI is now generating the song for us. So we'll see.
Ammaar, you might need to also unshare and reshare for your audio should be coming through.
I want to share the audio. Yeah,
I think I hear the little sound, or I don't know, maybe it's my apps. I hear the little notification sound, but maybe that's.
Oh, here we go. I'll have audio now. This is great.
Okay.
I had to share system audio
because I want to hear this song of whatever it's going to come up with for me. So,
can you hear this?
Your screen's not being presented to the audience right now, so I can't see anything.
Oh, can you hear this?
Don't need a reason, it's just true. Everything feels shiny and new. Got that get up and go groove. Nothing left for me to prove.
This is great.
I feel like this song embodies, who you are. Just get up, go get the groove. That's great.
I love the happiness in this song. It's awesome.
Okay, back to our language app. It might have captions, but now you'll also be able to hear it, which is awesome. So let's see. Hallo, meine Name ist Ammaar.
Hallo Oma, ich freue mich, dich kennenzulernen. Wie geht es dir heute? Lernst du schon lange Deutsch?
Ja.
Das ist super. Was magst du am Deutschlernen? Findest du die Grammatik schwierig?
Okay, so the captions aren't showing up, but you can hear that it's speaking in German, which is pretty sick.
Ammaar, this is a great example. Somebody actually just asked in the chat, can we zoom in a little bit more? And also folks are asking, like, can you deploy these things that you build? So maybe this is a good chance to talk about like inspiration. We can help you build stuff and iterate on it. And then what happens next?
Yeah, so that's great. There are two ways you can actually go about sharing, and I want to explain those. So the first one is you can just share a link from here, so you can make it public or internal. Internal, that's for us, but public, you can share a link with AI Studio. So in this case, I can make this app public. I can grab this link and then send that. I could probably even send that in chat if people want this app. Why don't I just go do that? I need to connect YouTube to do that. But maybe, wait, I'll give the link to everybody here if we can send that from private chat too. But yeah, so you can share this link and this will open the app in AI Studio. So you don't have to worry about deploying it or publishing it out there. You'll get the link in AI Studio. As long as that person just signs in with their AI Studio account, they're going to see the app. They'll be able to remix it and change it to their liking as well, all within this Chrome. And then they can kind of take the app in their other directions. It'll automatically use their key. It's pretty nice. Now, if you want to put your app out there on the web, you don't want the AI Studio frame around it, and maybe you even want to tie it to your own domain name, like linguallive.com or something, then you go and you hit publish. So you go ahead, publish up here. It will give you, something here. People cannot remix this version. You'll choose a project. We auto create these, but you'll need to choose a cloud project with billing enabled. And so, I can pick this one, and then that's a bug. And then you can hit publish app and it'll just go live with that link. So that's another way you can go and publish your app. This will use your own key. So you will incur API costs when people use your app. That's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's another way you can do it. And of course, if your app isn't using any AI at all, like you can publish it and you won't have any costs, API related costs like that. So yeah, that's the publishing flow.
Can I make a recommendation for the next demo? Unless you already
Sure.
have something, or at least a feature that real-time collaboration, like anything multiplayer. I would love to test something up.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I actually have something ready. So I have this whiteboard app, and actually be really fun to see if we can invite a bunch of people to come join us in this whiteboard and draw together. So I'm gonna share a link.
Ammaar, we got to be careful with sharing this link. There's a lot of sickos on the internet who are here. So.
Please be nice, otherwise this will end the stream.
Okay. Well, why don't we do it with our private chat for now?
Sure. I sent you guys a link. Hopefully that works. See if that link works for you guys.
I get a 404 on this link, Ammaar.
You got a link 404? No,
Yep.
let me see.
I don't know about everyone else. Chandler and Bomik, if you get a 404 as well.
Oh, let me publish.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, also getting that.
Okay, give me a sec. Publish this. I'm gonna publish the app and I'll give you a link.
Thank you very much.
While that gets published, can you really quick just talk about like when you share these, like you're not sharing your API key, and is there ways to, if people remix, they're using their own API key costs, and can you just talk more about that?
Yeah. So when they remix, it automatically will use your key, and therefore the person who gave you this app, they're not incurring any sort of costs. It's basically now your version of the app.
But for sharing, Ammaar, if I share an app to you, it actually does use. So like you can think about sharing as like a trusted set of people. So like if Ammaar sends me an app that has an AI feature, like it is using his API key behind the scenes, if I remember correctly. Correct.
If it's sharing, yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm joining the whiteboard.
Okay, let's try this. Nice. Here we go. What's up, Logan? Cool. That's working. Eat a burrito. Jump 40 inches high. Nice, Bomik.
And Ammaar, actually, maybe the most interesting part about this example, like obviously it works and we can make it happen. What did it take to get this? Like, I think it's an interesting thread of like, what did you ask for? I feel like there's a lot of use cases where this like real-time collaboration would be really cool. What did you ask for to make this happen?
The initial prompt was actually really easy. I gave it a screenshot of a whiteboard app, and I asked for make a collaborative whiteboard app, use Firebase for multiplayer. That was it. And it just like built a bunch of stuff out. And then I added on top of it. I was like, okay, now make the markers work, add like sticky notes and a bunch of other things. But really initially it was just a screenshot. And then we took it from there. So it is quite cool how far you can go with just a screenshot. Highly encourage messing around like that.
Can I make a suggestion or a recommendation for an extension? And then it looks like there's a question too.
Sure.
In the chat. Have you heard of the game where you kind of guess what the person's drawing and you go between tones? Is there? Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but
Dictionary. Yeah. Game to this. So
and as we build that, can you guys talk more about like the traffic limits, like how many users can actually be on one instance of these collaborative apps?
I think it depends. I think you run into limits on the like deployed Cloud Run server, and I think it really depends what you're trying to do. So the limit is not from like a user perspective; it's like more from like a number of like a bunch of like infrastructure concepts. Ammaar, it's a good point that like we should. I think people think about this in context of users and not about like CPU and RAM and a bunch of other stuff. That's really what it's limited on right now. So we can add some sort of like translation layer from a user perspective, but it should scale. Like we've done it with hundreds of people, I think, Ammaar, right? Before in different examples.
We have, yeah. We've had 100 or something people live at the same time, and it's worked fine. We haven't really tested the limits of it, but I think, yeah, that's a good push.
Yeah, and there was questions too about like things around like custom domains and stuff like that. That stuff is supported. We're trying to make it like less frictionful. It technically works today, but like we would need to do a little bit of work through the deployment side in order to make that possible. And then is there an option to have users log in with their own API key? Is also something that like you can kind of do this. It's a little bit, as you're building an app, there's a question of like, do you want to let people use your API key versus not? We do support login. So Ammaar, you could say like, make sure that this app has Firebase or uses login, sign in with Google, and we could add that as a gating mechanism. But as far as the API key bit is a little bit more tricky.
Yeah. Makes sense. We're adding your dictionary game, so I'm excited to see how that comes out.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. What else is what's happening in the comments?
we're still getting some questions around remixing and API keys. Do you maybe want for a demo actually remix something and then go through how that looks?
You know what? Why don't I give Logan one of my apps, and Logan, why don't you go remix that and take it in a different direction?
Let's do it.
So why don't we take this music player and maybe you can take it in a different direction. I'm gonna give you the link.
And we
So
can
this is-
share Logan's screen too when he starts doing that.
Yeah, so let's show Logan's screen. So I basically sent him the link to this app just via the share flow, switched it to public, and now he gets access. So this is what he sees on his end.
Yeah, and from here I can accept that I'm okay with the fact that I know Ammaar sent me this, so I trust him, and I'm going to open it up, and then I'll select my API key. I'm going to create a key for this project, and then I should be good to go, and then I can go ahead and actually remix this. So I could either like start directly asking in chat here, and it actually analyzed the image. It's actually making a bunch of suggestions already. Analyze the image to extract a dominant color palette, which can then influence the music generation theme tempo. So I'll do that, and I'll click remix, and I'll go and apply this. And it opens up, right now it opens up in a new tab, but we're also bringing it into the same tab. And then so now it'll go and kick off the remixed version of this, and we can see what happens where it's using the color palettes to influence versus, I don't know what it was doing before, Ammaar, but it'll be color palette based now, which is cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that'll be cool.
And then next, after that, maybe I'll add a playlist functionality, which would be cool. So this was suggested by the model to allow users to group their generated songs into a playlist so that it looks more like a traditional music library.
I think that's one thing to call out, which is the model is also looking at the app you have and coming up with cool feature ideas for you, interesting ways to expand your app. It's just such a good brainstorming partner if you're trying to riff on where to take your idea further.
Yeah, actually, I like this album art one too, which is cool. So I'll add that in for whenever we get a chance.
Nice.
Anything else, Ammaar, that we want to show in this UI as we do stuff? Maybe we could also show like focus and annotate mode, just because I feel like it's something while this generates, if you want to, I can actually share this tab instead. So we have a cool feature that allows us to directly go and edit what shows up. And there's two options, and we're working to sort of make this a little bit more simple. We have focus and annotate mode today. So with annotate mode, I can just go and draw and sort of point to like, I don't like the way that these icons look. Then I can go and add some text and say, change these icons and title, and then press check and go and submit this. And then it'll actually go and edit the app. The other way is you can actually, and maybe I'll switch to this tab and do a different version. This was somebody asked for like a news dashboard, so I built that. With focus mode, I can actually just go in and directly change items. So like happy news, this title up here, I can select that. I can then change, maybe I'll change the text color to make it blue or maybe yellow because I want it to be happy, and then try to make it more visible. And then I'll change the size of it as well, for example. And I'll make it look ridiculous and make it 100 because we're happy. And if I like that, I can go and submit, and then like it'll take that change that I made and then apply it to the app that we are looking at. So lots of cool ways, multiple ways to edit the app once you've actually created it.
Logan, I so badly want to remix that with scary news and sad news and all the other emotions.
I'm like, that's the default news though, Bomik. I was trying to make it so that we get away from the default news, which is all scary and sad and lots of stuff going on.
This is fun. I have a question on that might be like trying to understand the extent to which you can build today. I'm sure you guys have heard of Lenny's data. Like he published all his transcripts and his interviews on Lenny's newsletter. And a lot of people built apps on top of it. You know, there are a lot of different ideas like visualizations of the content, guides, things like that. And I was wondering if, you know, let's say Lenny were to build a platform that lets anyone build apps on top of that data. Could you do that, you know, with Google AI Studio? What would that look like?
This is a great example, actually. I love the use case of, and it looks like the happy news piece just finished, and we're working to make this much faster so that it doesn't take 60 seconds to make that edit. Bomik, I love this use case. And actually, just to give another example of this, people on our marketing team used to get like a bunch of CSV data of like email reports and results and stuff like that. And they would then like send it to a data analyst and they would go and like do a bunch of visualization and stuff. Now our marketing team literally just like takes all the email analytics, the data, drops it into AI Studio in a raw CSV file, and then goes and like builds like new dashboards every single
For whatever
time.
they want. Yeah,
For
exactly.
whatever they want. It's super cool. So like I think if we take Lenny's dashboard data or whatever it is, you can drop it into AI Studio, and I can actually show really quick the example that I have of this. But
There's an essay I want to write while you do that. Just a comment that every essay can be a website. So anytime I want to learn a concept or explain a concept, I could just spin together, a visualization of that.
Oh, this is the wrong one. I'll switch to a different one. I have too many apps these days. Maybe this is a good example of it. I did this for the Gemini 3 benchmark results. So this was a different form of data. I like took a table of data and I was like, I want to visualize this and inspect the data differently. And so just literally took a screenshot, dropped it in AI Studio, and I said, turn this data into an interactive visualization and a dashboard. And then you'll see what it came up with in 1 sec as soon as it spins up this container, and we'll be able to see it.
While you're doing that, we can play the Pictionary game. Should we try it?
Yeah. I want to see it.
All right, everybody get into that link again, and then let's refresh your page. I have no idea how this is going to work, but let's get a bunch of our screens up so you can see the multiplayer thing happen, if we can.
I don't know if StreamYard supports this, but we can try.
Okay, well, I wonder if...
I'll share my screen. 1 sec.
I wonder what you guys are seeing. You can clearly see my prompt. Well, don't look at it.
I don't see if I have my screen full screen, so I don't see what you're doing. So
okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, perfect.
I saw it before. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay, don't look now. I'm gonna hit next round. Don't look now.
I won't look.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, there's music too. That's cool.
Oh, this is hard. This is hard. Oh boy. You know what I need? I need color. There's no color.
This is a great remix.
Yeah. Can you guys guess what this is?
Valley.
Oh,
there's one character. Oops. I'm being exposed for being terrible at these games.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm trying to think.
The problem, Ammaar, is this thing on the left-hand side that's not very clear.
Yeah.
Whatever this blob is on the left.
Yeah. I need to make this blob clearer. Let's see. What could be good? What could I do here?
I was thinking like tidal wave or.
It's funny. Other people can draw while you're doing that to kind of troll.
Beach. Close.
Hey, it was beach. Yeah. You were close.
This is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so the score flashed, or the answer flashed for a brief second right before, so I saw it and typed it in.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, so it was cool to see, like, that was just one prompt, right? Where we asked for a Pictionary game with the host being the person that had to play it and a timer, and it works. So you can always keep refining it. You can add music. You could add all sorts of other things. You could hopefully make me a better artist. There are a bunch of other things you can do to make this great.
And Ammaar, maybe we should show the gallery really quick, because I feel like we have a bunch of templates that allow you to do multiplayer things like this and build on top of what's happening. So yeah, it's a good.
Yeah, it's great push. So we do have a gallery as well, where all of these ideas, we've basically made so many things: multiplayer laser tag game. We made a Lyria rhythm game, so a music rhythm game, kind of like Guitar Hero style. A fun, upload a picture of your pet, see it on an adventure, and it generates a story. So we have all of these ideas that are in the gallery for free for you to remix, take in your own direction. It's an amazing way to just kind of see what all the models are capable of. And then you can take any of these ideas and remix it. Like this one's a really cool one. It can generate a bunch of marketing material for you or an ad in different regions. I don't know if I have a photo that I could use for this. Let's see.
This is always my challenge. Is we build these cool apps, and then I never have the assets.
Yeah, like the asset for it. Yeah.
Some of the new AI Studio brand design stuff, Ammaar, maybe we can tease that. I don't know.
Yeah. I actually had this blog header we had. Different countries. Interesting. Let's go to Japan. And let's add a bunch of other ones. Let's add Germany, since it's a feature of our thing.
Let's do India too. Let's do India because we've got a huge user base in India.
Yeah, let's do it. Localize. Use my key. Okay. Let's see what it does. It'll be fun.
And we can, the beauty is one click, top right hand corner, or put in a prompt, and you can remix this and turn it into your completely own thing if you wanted, which is really cool.
So you can see it actually is changing the text. I can't verify the Japanese. Maybe you can verify the German when it shows up, Logan.
German's not that strong. I don't want to be the source of truth.
He's being modest now. Normally he talks about how he's fluent in German. So
I saw Chandler's live reaction.
Yeah.
You're shocked.
Spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, ein bisschen.
I need to spend more time with Chandler so I can hear all the things Logan's very comfortable showing off about. Okay. If I can see interesting. I'll be able to verify the Pakistani one. So
is that real German? Yeah, is that real German?
It looks like real German. I don't know what it means though. What was the original thing? Bring anything to life? Yeah. Folks, if there's anyone in the audience.
It's definitely Hindi.
Nice.
Well, that's cool.
I don't know what it's about, but it's Hindi. I forgot what it says. Okay. I was actually curious about Stitch.
That is accurate.
Yeah. If you guys have a second to talk about that.
Stitch?
Yeah.
So Stitch, we don't have an integration yet with them, but it is a fun way to kind of start to think through an idea and generate a few different mocks and stuff before you get into AI Studio. But Stitch, for those who don't know, is kind of the AI design tool from Google Labs, where you can basically mock up stuff with AI. And then you should take so then you can take it to AI Studio and build an app off of that. So
it's like a separate product from AI Studio, but you can start with the designs there and then bring it to AI Studio. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a one-click button to just like take a bunch of the stuff you do in Stitch and then come to AI Studio and turn it into a fully functional app. So the Stitch product today is like much deeper for designers and folks who want to sort of like do a bunch of design iteration. AI Studio, like from the get-go, will build you like a functional app. And so there's a bunch of trade-offs. We are definitely trying to bring more design stuff into AI Studio because something like 50% of all designers inside of Google are using AI Studio to design stuff across the Google suite of products, which is really cool. So
yeah, I, as a vibe coder, self-proclaimed vibe coder, I like having one place where I can do a lot of things, from like high fidelity designs all the way through deployment and database. So it sounds like you can do that in just AI Studio itself. Cool, great.
Yeah.
Any other questions or demos you guys want to go deeper into?
Maybe the last one that we can show really quick is how we build AI Studio in AI Studio. So Ammaar, maybe we showcase that.
Yeah, sounds good. I will say I can confirm that the early one, at least, is accurate. It's a very literal translation, which is pretty funny. You wouldn't ever pitch it that way to somebody, but it basically does say, bring anything to life in a pretty funny way, actually. Yes. Okay. How we build AI Studio in AI Studio. So one thing we do is we'll go with mocks we have in Figma or ideas we have generally, and then we will try to bring them into AI Studio, and I'll show you how we go about that whole flow. I might have to share my window broadly. Let me do that. And then I can show you what we did to bring some of these things to life.
I think the fun thing of this too is like the product, like we live and breathe the product and like see the edges and the things that people really want. So we feel the pain, we feel the magic all the same, because we're trying to use the product to help accelerate this stuff. But it is cool to like get all these new ideas all the time, which is fun.
Yeah. One thing I'll just show live is actually, let's take an example of this. I have this API key page and I want to iterate on it. I want to try something maybe different with it. So we actually made a Chrome extension for ourselves where you can go and grab the whole page. So in this case, this is the live page. You can see I've grabbed it. It's capturing the whole page as a component. And then when it goes and finishes doing that, and this is probably way too much stuff on this page. Yeah, okay, cool. Copy to clipboard. I can go to build and I can just paste all of that in. And you can see it's extracted the whole page, all the details about it. And I can just say like, make this page as is. I want to prototype with it. And this is one way we actually do work on AI Studio inside of AI Studio. So it's going to take that exact page and recreate it for us. And then we can go and start building off of it. Like maybe I want to see that API key page with an interesting responsive mode. So I can do that. And when this finishes doing that, I'll show you guys. But I actually built some examples for the YouTube team recently. So, this was YouTube music. And I did the same thing. I grabbed, this whole area here with all the albums. And I basically was like,
is that extension something like internal, or is that public?
It's internal, but we can publish it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
it looks very useful. I have like a full page screenshot. Like there's a lot of the Chrome extensions, but this one looks like more useful.
Yeah. And then you can see it basically, I gave it, can you update the album covers with this one? Pasted that in, it built it out, and you can see it's recreated the same component. And then the thing that I added in this app was I wanted to see what it would feel like in cover flow. And so you can now see like a cover flow mode of the same songs, which is pretty nice. So that another fun way you can just kind of riff on, UI and stuff while it goes and builds that stuff. So you can see here, it's going and building that API key page.
Ammaar, really quick, maybe I will flash my screen up for folks who don't have the extension, which I personally actually don't have the extension installed. This is a very Ammaar design-centric view of the world.
While we're here.
It works, though. It works.
Crazy. It works. So you can see you've got the API key page exactly as is. And now I can go and, as a designer or somebody riffing on this, I can go and say, well, I want a mobile responsive view where each table row turns into cards. What would that look like? Right? And this is something that, right now, mobile doesn't look great. That's good to know. And so we're going to go and fix that. And this is the kind of thing where if I was designing it as a designer, I would literally be wrestling with reorganizing each row, moving content underneath it, like quite literally dragging, dropping, and making all of this stuff happen in auto layout was a pain. So to just be able to do this in one prompt is a game changer, because then I can just hand that off to engineering, or actually push the code in myself, and it'll go and be live in the Google code base. So go ahead, Logan, while we wait for this update to happen. You had something, sure?
Yeah. If we can flash my screen up, and then I'll show the magic. So this, I think Ammaar's example is like starting from an existing website, using the Chrome extension to pull in a bunch of the context. my flow is like much more simple. All I do is take a screenshot of the AI Studio UI like I did here. I drop it in AI Studio and I say, copy this UI exactly. And then I ask for whatever the features are that I want to add. So in this case, I was exploring like, what is a little build? This is asking for like 5 different treatments so that I can look at different stuff. But this is the way that the playground looks today in AI Studio. And actually, Ammaar and I were talking about this. I sent him this example. I wanted to see all these different build CTAs, and I ended up building this like minimalist one down here with the same animation, and just took this directly, moved it over into like the actual AI Studio code base. And so I was able to do this iteration. I like the simplicity of screenshots. You lose a little, I think Ammaar's example is great because you get more fidelity, like it actually sees the underlying, you know, details of the colors and stuff like that, versus like the Gemini model just like visually look like you or I visually looking at something and then making a bunch of assumptions. So it's cool. It's a trade-off fidelity for like ease of use, but just screenshotting truly with one screenshot, and the prompt is copy this UI exactly. You can get pretty close to what the AI Studio UI looks like today, which is really cool.
As someone who's gone through like that whole spectrum from just screenshot to needing to replicate that like highest fidelity, I'm glad that both options exist. You can just do things, or you can do high fidelity. It's like a spectrum between the Family Guy meme where they're just adjusting the blinds
Yes.
for us to work.
Totally.
To just like I've literally had prompts like do a forensic analysis as if you're a world-class graphic designer, engineer a brand kit from this landing page, replicate. And
that's why we needed this extension. We were like, if we're actually going to move off of Figma and we're actually going to move off of design, we need precision, right? And so that's where this kind of gave us that. So if you actually switch back to my screen, we can look at the mobile version that it came up with, and hopefully it's good. But I'll do the grand reveal with everybody together. But okay, cool. So it says you can resize your browser window or change the preview. So one thing, if you want to ever see your app in different sizes, we have this handy button over here, and it actually lets you see it on a tablet or on mobile screen size. I'm going to hit mobile. We're all going to say a little prayer. And okay, cool. Okay, sweet. So you can see it's got the card view. It's way nicer to look at rather than like a resized table where you're like moving between each column. It's actually something we should bring to production. And so, yeah, really nice. One prompt. And this is, again, like I was saying, the kind of thing where I would have had to rearrange a lot of this in Figma to create this. And now you can get that fidelity here. And this is something I will definitely bring to our mainline app. Yeah,
I love it. Any comments, Chandler and Bhumik? I feel like we've had lots of cool demos, lots of stuff. Anything else you want us to show?
Sorry, I've got a couple. I've got a couple questions that I've pulled. If you guys are ready to go through those.
Let's do it.
So cool. You can kind of rapid fire these. There are a lot I've pulled, so we'll try to get through as many as we can. The first one is, can you connect AI Studio to GitHub in any way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Today we let you like export the code that you generate to AI Studio. We have a bunch of work happening to make that sort of like bi-directional sync, and then also actually import from GitHub. If you have a current, you know, like your personal website, for example, is on GitHub, you want to import it to AI Studio and then quickly iterate on it and then send the changes back to GitHub. We're also we're working on that.
Awesome. And
Chandler, really quick, I just want to say, someone said, I love Ammaar's teaching delivery, quiet, relatable, being a designer myself. True. Let's gas up Ammaar in the chat. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. You're my favorite person in the audience now.
We've got a couple more about like what exactly you can build with AI Studio. So someone asked, can I build iPhone apps using AI Studio?
Not native ones today. It's definitely something that we're thinking about. It's interesting. Like we have a bunch of explorations and prototypes to help people potentially make native apps. Today, it's very focused on web. So you could build a web app that sort of like generally does a bunch of these things, not native in Swift or Kotlin in the Android ecosystem.
Awesome. And we've had one person in chat who has thankfully been asking, where's the best source of information for AI Studio as a beginner, as someone with maybe a little more experience? Where should they be looking for resources?
Yeah.
And thank you in chat for bringing this up. We saw your comment. So
learnprompting.org. Now, I don't know if that was a tee up for a
No. Is that
well, you guys also have the blogs, so I wasn't sure if there was.
Our blog isn't as useful right now. I'd say there are a few places. So our Google AI Studio X account is where we're posting a lot of the new features that we're putting out there. Anything guides go out there as well. So that all goes there. And then we have a Coursera course that Google has published, and that kind of covers the absolute basics. So if it's your first time ever making apps, or you're just completely new to prompting, that covers all the bases from AI Studio to even working in workspace like Google Docs and Sheets and improving those workflows. And then our team is going to be publishing more of those tutorials very soon. So expect those on YouTube, expect those on X. Tons more of that coming for free. We just want to show people how awesome this stuff is. And then Logan and I often post about our own experiments and stuff the team does as well. So if you're following the team on X, we have examples, free like code out there. So yeah, those are probably the best resources at the moment.
awesome?
Cool. And we'll we have a lot more questions. I think we'll try to answer those. I'll send them to you guys, and maybe we'll have them in a newsletter follow up so that we can get to everyone. But we are out of time, so I'm going to hand it over to Bomik.
Thank you. Sorry, I jumped in. You guys did amazing. This was awesome. It was really cool seeing all the features and them integrated in actual apps that we had fun playing around with together. There's a lot of links that were shared today. I see a lot of asks for different links. So we will follow up over email with basically aggregating everything that was shared. Ask for you, Ammaar and Logan, if you can share those links over email, like the apps that you've built today. The links you mentioned, X links and doc links, we can find ourselves, but the apps would be great for us to play around with ourselves. And you did offer a plug, so I'll plug ourselves. Learn Prompting is a great resource to learn prompt engineering, and we are working on a course on Google AI Studio. It'll be out in a couple of weeks, and we'll send an email about that later. The intent is to basically have step-by-step instructions on how to build the kind of apps that you saw today, and kind of leverage the full functionality of what's possible with Google AI Studio. So thank you, Logan and Ammaar, for joining us. This was awesome, and hopefully this is the first of other events we do.
Thank you it's an honor to be the first live stream with you all. And so we definitely got lots of cool stuff cooked up. So if folks thought that this was useful, except the one person that commented who said that it wasn't useful, for everyone else, if this was useful, we'd love to do it again. And so let us know. And we've got lots of cool new things cooking. And yeah, please keep the feedback coming on AI Studio. And we're always trying to push the rock up the hill so that y'all can build better stuff.
Yeah, thank you all. It's such a fun live stream.
Great.